Drake, how are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm in beautiful LA right now. It's 20 degrees out. Can't complain.
I guess. Yeah.
There was snow here this morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's coming down.
Well, it didn't last. It didn't hang around, but some people had to clean off their cars this morning, Drake. It's okay.
Wow. Yeah. Could be worse, I guess. We'll
Yeah.
we'll see the snow in a few days.
Do you guys get to squeeze in, or is it all business? Do you get to squeeze in some golf in there somewhere in this California trip?
Usually, yeah. Yesterday we had a day off, but we just went and watched some football there, the Thanksgiving games, and pretty low key day. Yeah.
And how is the team fantasy pool this year? You professed you don't exactly have the greatest knowledge on this subject, but you're doing okay. Or who's leading this year?
Yeah, I think I actually did the draft all by myself this year. Usually I get my buddy to do it, who was a university quarterback. But I did an okay job at the draft. I made a really bad trade, but other than that, I've been pretty solid, and I'm around 500 and in a playoff spot. So
There you go.
not doing too bad.
Meaningful games coming up.
Huge games. Yeah, I got
meaningful games.
I got a big game this week against Ridley, so hopefully I can squeeze out a win. I think he's in first place, so tough matchup.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I won't get into my fantasy league where I'm first place, and nobody wants to hear about that. But let's get to some hockey talk with Drake Batherson here. And I think we're at the quarter turn roughly now, Drake. And people are saying the underlying numbers on this team are good, so that's something different than previous years. But the standings are kind of the same for this time of the year. How do you feel like the season is playing out from a team perspective for you guys?
Yeah, I think we started off playing really good hockey. I mean, we lost some games I think we could have won, and obviously went on a bit of a bad stretch there for the last 2 weeks or so, and we're able to win the last two. I mean, last game, I mean, we only had 11 shots, but we found a way to win, where years past we probably would have lost that game. So no, just trying to put the last 2 weeks behind us, getting back to playing our game, and like I said, we were able to win the last two. And I think winning last game after flying 5 hours and playing the next night was huge. And we got a couple days off here before back to back. So hopefully we can win both of them. If not, get points in them, and that'd be huge.
And how is your personal confidence coming along here? You're on pace. I just did the math. You're on pace for career highs in goals, assists, and points. I'm sure you already knew that, but what's the difference for you this year? What's been working? What's going right?
Yeah, I think just really motivated to try and turn it around here. I think on a nightly basis, just coming to the rink and doing whatever I can to help the team win. And got to give a lot of credit to the line mates I've been playing with this year for my success. And just trying to have as much fun as I can, work as hard as I can, and let the points take care of itself.
I think most of our listeners know about jet lag and what that's like, just from a day-to-day situation. But for, a professional hockey club and a player, you're Monday night taking on the Calgary Flames. Following day, you go out west. Now you get a 3-hour difference. And I was noticing after the second period in San Jose, Drake, that it was 12:30 in the morning as the second intermission began. Like, that's got to be a big change in a 48-hour kind of turnaround. Does it affect you physically? Do you feel it?
Yeah, it's weird. Like, we were going to dinner after a 5-hour flight at 7 o'clock, and I was like so gassed. Meanwhile, it's 10 o'clock back home, right? So, and everyone's waking up at 5 in the morning, where really it's 8. So there's definitely an adjustment, but you just got to take a nice long pregame nap. And I think my dad was texting me after the game. It was like almost 3 a.m. in Nova Scotia. So he said he took a nap to stay up for the game. So definitely weird, but it was nice to squeeze out a win. And now we got 2 days off to kind of get adjusted to it. And, before a big back-to-back game.
So what was the game day skate? What time was that at? Was it optional? Was that mandatory? You would have skated Monday morning, right? So was it in the morning, or did they do it in the afternoon? How did that work out?
Yeah, we flew the day after the Calgary game, and then we had a mandatory morning skate. I think it was Tuesday. At 11. We flew Tuesday, morning skated Wednesday, played Wednesday night. So yeah, usually when we fly, sometimes when we practice them fly, we won't morning skate. But in this case, we just flew on Tuesday and then had a skate Wednesday.
All right.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you about a couple of players on the team right now. And I think one of the storylines of the early part of the season is your teammate Adam Gaudette. Starts the year on waivers, fourth line center. Now he's playing with Stützle and Tkachuk, and he's got 11 goals, tied for the team lead in that department. You must be like everybody else going, well, first of all, good for you, but at the same time, this is a real pleasant surprise, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I think it's awesome. I mean, he was really highly touted coming out of college. I'm pretty sure he won the Hobey Baker or was in the conversation for that. And last year, I think he set a franchise record in the AHL for goals with 44. So, and then he comes into camp. I think he scores 5 or 6, if I'm not mistaken, in preseason, and just kind of continue that. So it's been awesome for us. Super pumped for him, and he's been huge helping our team out to win games.
Now, Steve and I joke about it because we often want to call him Donald Audette, who, of course, played for the Buffalo Sabres back in the day. And last night, Steve and I were talking about this, and I said, look, from now on, we're just going to call him Donald. I think that should be his official nickname. Does the man have a nickname, or you just call him God?
Yeah, I think his Twitter name handle or something is the Hockey God. So, okay. I mean, I just call him Gods, but
oh boy, imagination there.
Yeah, whatever works. I mean, whatever he's doing, he's got to keep doing it. He's been playing great, and like I said, scoring some huge goals for us.
Okay, so while we're on the subject of nicknames, please tell me the Trail Mix Hamonic is now an official moniker that we all call him Trail Mix in the room.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many people are calling him that, but that was an awesome video by that girl. Her just naming everyone's names, but no, I think Hammer's kind of stuck on him. I don't know if any of the boys are calling him that, but maybe I'll use it every once in a while.
Drop one in.
Yeah.
Love it. So let's talk about the room a little bit from the perspective of, I think there's 8 or 9 new skaters from this time last year. And then you still, you're part of the young core that's, gotten another year older. So what's the room like now? Has it been a transition with so many new bodies coming in for this season?
Yeah, no, I feel like it usually takes a bit of time for everyone to adjust. I mean, I've never gone through a trade or moving to a new city, but I'm sure it takes a month or 2 to get settled in, and families, are in school and stuff like that. So it's definitely a transition, I'm sure, for new guys. But as far as at the rink, it's been awesome. I mean, everyone was in 2 to 3 weeks before camp, and the new guys have fit in great. We've been having a blast every day. So it's definitely more fun when you're winning. So hopefully we can keep that up. But no, as far as the new guys coming in, it's been seamless, and they fit in awesome.
And transition wise with the coaching staff, how's that been for you? Likes, dislikes, you're doing well. So you must appreciate some things that some of these guys are bringing to the table on the coaching staff.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome. I mean, they're all ex-players who played a long time and been around the NHL for a while now. So it's been great getting some new knowledge from some new coaches, and no, I've loved every second of it so far. And like I said, once we get a few more wins, it'll be even better.
Anything specific from Daniel Alfredsson? Because, I mean, with all due respect to you, he is the greatest right winger in Ottawa Senators history. Maybe you get there someday. Who knows? But I'm sure there's some specific guidance that he's maybe been able to give to you.
Yeah, those are big shoes to fill. Obviously, a Hall of Famer. So I don't know if I'll ever get there one day. But he's awesome. The way he sees the game, I feel like is totally different than any other coach I've had. Like, for example, a week ago, I got 2 passes in a row on my skates and just kind of mishandled it. So the next morning, he takes me out and just fires about 30 pucks on my skates just to clean it up. So, and just as far as anything goes, like shooting or shootouts or stuff, I remember last year I wasn't great in shootouts, and he sat me down. We watched shootout goals for 20 minutes, and then I think I went 2 for 2 after that in the shootout. So it's really cool the way he looks at the game, just like the little aspects of it, and just a fun guy to talk to about hockey.
And I'm wondering about adjustments as far as Linus Ullmark comes in. This is a new goaltender. Now, there are certain rules that have to be followed when you're dealing with a goaltender, pre-game, post-game, where he sits, when you talk to him, where you shoot, all that sort of stuff. How's that been as far as peculiarities are concerned with dealing with a new goaltender now?
Yeah, no, as far as Linus, like his superstitions, it's kind of different than any other goalie I've seen. Pretty relaxed before the game, plays soccer with us. I think he's in the hot tub for like 10 minutes and then plays soccer, a little stretch, and throws the gear on. So I feel like most goalies are pretty, I don't know if I want to say dialed in. He's obviously dialed in, but they have a long warm up and go through certain things, but he's more relaxed side, I think.
Yeah, he seems to have an interesting personality just in the conversations and the media scrums and such. I don't know if I've encountered anybody like him. Shane Pinto, great with the media as well. And I wanted to ask you about, because we always ask you about that summertime skate, but this year you had Shane Pinto out for a couple of weeks. How did that go?
It was awesome. I mean, I think I've said this before, but he didn't start playing until he was 10 years old. And the only reason he started playing was because of Sid. So him coming into town and getting the train and skate with Sid every day was awesome, and having him there for 2 weeks, it was great. We got out golfing with some of the guys from the skate, and I think he really enjoyed it, and I think he's going to come back every summer now.
And we should mention also with that skate, Nathan McKinnon's there, right? And Patrice. I wanted to say Patrice Bergeron or something. Brad Marchand. So there's three guys right there who are probably playing for Team Canada. At least, well, I know what two of them are already guaranteed, right? Or all three of them. Anyway, they're probably playing for Team Canada coming up here in February. What are you thinking about that? Is it just going to sit back and be a fan, or are you leaving the country?
No, that's going to be awesome. I mean, talking with those guys this summer about it, I know they're super pumped for it. Our video coach Kinger just got named to the US team, which is super cool. And I think Dom and Johnny are on the Canada staff. So it's going to be awesome hockey to watch. Obviously, it's been a while since the best on best has gone at it, and super excited. I mean, I might be on a beach somewhere watching it, but either way, I'll be tuning in.
So how are you spending your downtime these days? I know you like to watch a lot of hockey, and but Greg and I, after every show, we generally talk about, whatever TV show we're watching these days. Like, what are you up to these days between games and such, besides appearing on award-winning podcasts?
Yeah. Not a whole lot, honestly. I got a couple dogs, so take them for a walk. The new Call of Duty game came out, so me and my buddies probably 2-3 times a week are playing that at night. That's how I kind of keep in touch with them. We get the headsets on and play for a couple hours. So watch some hockey, cook dinner. Other than that, I don't do a whole lot. Just kind of hang out in the house and play a little Call of Duty.
So you got a second dog. So the first one was Bobby, I think, right?
Yeah.
So so now you've got a second one. Tell us about it. Or him or her.
Yeah. So I got Bobby, 3. He just turned 3, French bulldog, and then I got a second dog. Ivy is a Doberman, so just kind of protects the house and patrols around the property. But she wouldn't hurt a fly. She's awesome. She likes me more than the other dogs, so she's always on my hip, actually, which is nice.
And I saw you on with Claire Hanna doing that walk the dog thing in the park or whatever. I saw one other one. I can't remember who it was. I think maybe it was Ullmark did one. Has there been more?
Yeah.
Have I missed any, or has there just been the 2?
I think it's just been the 2 so far. Me and Ullmark. Yeah.
Walking a dog in the park with Claire Hanna. Have you seen those, Steve?
I know the only reference I've heard to it was Drake addressing it in one of the media scrums. I still haven't seen it yet, so I'll keep an eye out for it. Just to close out today, Drake, I think that, Sens fans are hoping this, mini 2-game streak that you're on right now maybe means you've turned a corner. You've kind of lived this before. The standings are, like I said earlier, are kind of what they've been in previous seasons. Do you feel like there's something different brewing here, though? Like I mentioned, the underlying numbers and such, but living it now and being around the guys, do you feel like something's different from previous years, even though the standings are kind of the same?
Yeah, I just think the confidence in the room. I think in years past, it was kind of like, here we go again at this point in the year. Where this year, it's more positive. Everyone's coming to the rink still in a great mood and believing that we can beat anyone on any given night. Where in years past, I don't know if we've had that confidence, but as we're getting older and maturing a bit and adding a few more veterans in the room, it's been helping out. And obviously, two huge games coming up. So hopefully, we can get on a bit of a run here, come home with a 4-game win streak. Be nice.